College. People often describe it as the best 4 years of your life. I used to hear that all the time growing up and would just roll my eyes. I'll be honest, I had low expectations when I got here. Coming from out of state and transitioning from high school to college, I didn't know if URI would be some place where I could come into my own. But now, I can confidently say that this beautiful place has truly become my home. All the incredible opportunities I've had over the last 4 years, both personally and professionally, have shaped me into the leader and person I am today. My name is Ilana Rifkin, and this is my URI story. For most of my life, I've struggled to cope with extreme anxiety and panic disorder. It's difficult to admit at times because this is something I've been ashamed of since I was a kid. My anxiety was crippling for a large part of my life, to the point where I never thought I'd be able to go away to college, let alone accomplish what I've been able to in just 4 years. There have been really challenging moments where I would think to myself, is this disorder going to hinder me for the rest of my life, or will I push through the self-doubt and persevere? Conquering my fears one by one, I began to recognize and take advantage of my potential. I found my strength through the individuals I've met at this university and the unwavering determination I have found within myself. During my first semester at URI, I took a leap of faith and worked to be admitted into the leadership minor. I had virtually no leadership experience and was one of the very few students who did not attend the Leadership Institute, but I was so intrigued with the unique learning opportunity and was able to secure a spot in the minor. In flight as a second semester freshman, I learned more about myself and my capabilities than all 18 years of my life combined. Completing the Gallup Strength Quest assessment provided so much insight into the ways I lead successfully. Recognizing responsibility as my top strength, paired with my strength of positivity, started to become more evident in working with others, both in flight and as a consultant in SOLC. While working with other students in various ways throughout my college career, having discovered my strengths has increased my self-awareness and allowed me to become more comfortable as an organizational and inclusive leader. As one of only 2 first-year students hired as an orientation leader, the program took a chance on me and recognized my ability to learn as well as develop marketable skills. As a first-year student myself, I had the difficult task of simultaneously adjusting to college life while becoming an expert on all things URI. 2 years as an orientation leader, I led 16 sessions, totaling around 200 students of my own. I performed the important tasks of assisting in the creation of students' first semester schedules, facilitating a conference surrounding the celebration of diversity, and continually serving as a resource for students throughout their college experience. Those 2 years sparked a flame in me where I developed my personal mission statement of serving for the benefit of those around me. Ready! During my sophomore year, I joined the entrepreneurial student organization Thrive, where there were only 5 active members in the group. Those 5 people were some of the most ambitious, passionate students I've ever met, and after one meeting, I was convinced that we could change the world. But we decided to start a little smaller, so we put forth an effort to influence universities in the state of Rhode Island. Through collaboration, we came up with the concept of Change Fest, a day-long event where students from universities all around Rhode Island develop innovative and tangible solutions to issues that affect college students. In creating and holding this event was the first time I saw myself as an active change agent. We were able to develop a platform for others to make real change possible, no matter how small or large. Having never taken a business class, I questioned if I was equipped to help run an event and organization of this caliber. I'm extremely grateful to the students in the group, and that they recognized my innate ability to lead before I even had. I served as the president of Thrive for the 2016-2017 academic year and was able to utilize my network to take the organization from 5 members to 25 active members. I became committed to the growth of others in the organization because of the chance they took on me and how much I learned about myself through them. Most recently, I took a more advisory role in the organization, where I watched the community we built come to life. Seeing the influx of that next wave of change agents was confirmation that servant leadership is how I want to live and lead for the rest of my life. I want to continue to make significant change in the world while empowering others to do the same. I found deeper experiences with service during my junior year, while I served as a URI 101 mentor for an incredible group of students whose journeys had just begun. I was able to effectively plan and set agendas and put them into action each week, while connecting with the students in the class. I started to understand the leadership style I work best with. I don't need to be the loudest voice in the room, but rather a facilitator and active listener. While my strengths may change over time, one thing that I'm confident will remain is my set of values. The VIA assessment revealed my appreciation for beauty and excellence. This spoke to me because I've always looked at the world a little differently. I finally found the best way to express my vision, through a lens. I came into college as undeclared and discovered film as the major that would allow me to work with others while maintaining my creativity and love of learning. With very little filmmaking experience, I jumped into a major that would challenge me immensely. Little did I know that I would fall in love with filmmaking and develop artistic and technical abilities that I never expected. I went on to combining service with my passion for filmmaking when I directed, produced, and wrote my original short film, Sonder. I had 1 month to raise $1,000 and successfully did so with the help of an incredible crew and support system. When I found out that Sonder was chosen as a semifinalist for the Los Angeles Cinefest, that was the moment I knew film was going to be the way I made a difference in this world. It was the first film festival I submitted any work to, and that recognition meant the world to me. I started to become more passionate about documentary making and wanting to provide a platform for people to have their voice heard. Now, I continue to make documentaries that highlight social justice-related issues and use my ability to elicit genuine emotion to guide my storytelling. I have been so fortunate to have had internships that have brought me closer to identifying my career goals. From working for an advertising startup in Providence to the production office of the top-rated Amazon series Mozart in the Jungle in Brooklyn, New York, I have engaged with unique and diverse companies and organizations where I was shown the impact that I could create on a much larger scale. I sought experiences that brought me into the professional world, all while maintaining a 3.9 GPA, completing the honors program in my junior year, and serving as the program assistant on the orientation management staff for the past 2 years. In this position, I frequently practiced Sanford's theory of challenge and support. I was taken out of my wheelhouse with the task of directing the orientation play presented in front of all incoming students and families. I pushed the orientation leaders to be the best they could be in their roles, despite the fact that none of them had any theater experience. I consciously created a comfortable environment for the leaders to express themselves in a new and challenging way, but with my guidance and support throughout the process. In doing so, I was able to effectively oversee all the new leaders in every aspect of their position while performing my own external tasks of producing all media content for the program and answering any questions and concerns from families and first-year students. With all the fears I pushed through and limitations I surpassed to excel in these challenging roles, the one missing piece for me was a component of direct cultural awareness. I never considered the option of studying abroad because of the psychological limitations I placed on myself, but with a lot of encouragement, I made it my mission to go abroad before I missed the opportunity. During my first semester of senior year, I pushed myself out of every comfort zone I ever occupied and traveled to Barcelona, Spain without knowing a single person. I overcame a lot just to get there, but what I didn't know coming in was that I was entering a region that had just recently become charged full of political uproar. I arrived in Barcelona 2 weeks after the terrorist attack on Las Ramblas, and right in the middle of the Catalonian referendum, where the northeast region of Spain has been making an effort to secede from the rest of the country. If I thought living in a place where I don't speak the language or know a single person was terrifying, how about adding a revolution to the mix? I had to use my crisis management knowledge and skills every day I was there. I was forced to pay close attention to the safety of the environment I was in, but also focus on my academics while soaking in the breathtaking beauty of the country. I came to the conclusion that I was brought there at that time for a reason, so I decided to start filming my surroundings. Attending protests and interviewing locals, I became so much more connected to the Catalonian culture than I ever anticipated, and I'm so grateful for the independence I claimed and cultural immersion I gained. If I didn't come to this university, I wouldn't be anything close to the person I am today. Aside from my drive to constantly be better, I have definitely made time to sit back and enjoy my college experience. Participating in events and activities all around campus have taught me more than sitting in a classroom ever could. My love for basketball has taken me to every home game at URI, staying up until 4:30 in the morning while abroad to stream the games, and even traveling to Washington, D.C. for the A10 tournament. As I approach my graduation in a few short weeks and head toward my career, or as some like to call it, the real world, I know that what I've learned at URI will be applicable in any field. As I continue to grow and change, I get closer to discovering who I am at my core, but that self-discovery will never be complete. And while I don't necessarily have one answer as to what my dream job looks like, I am finally comfortable with the unknown. I am confident as the servant leader that I have become, the skills I have gained in my major and minors, the strengths I have come to know, as well as areas of personal growth, and my lifelong commitment to being a change agent. I have discovered a big part of myself in the passions I have found in filmmaking, traveling, social activism, and entrepreneurship. Looking back on all of it, my time at URI has far exceeded my expectations. This adventure has provided me with so many enriching opportunities that I can now say that college truly was the best 4 years of my life. The greatest part of it all is that the journey isn't over. In fact, it's just getting started.